So good morning here. It's Friday morning here at the High Society. I'm just giving some wisdom highlights. You know, I've earned every one of these little gray hairs with knowledge and experience. And, you know, I really just want to share with you here in the Hive Society. So today I'm talking about stopping the stealers. You know, what are the stealers, right? The time stealers, the dream stealers, the energy stealers, all of those things that stop us, prevent us, try to hold us back from doing what it is that we're meant to be doing on this earth, right? And so whether that's in business, whether that's in your life, you know, building relationships with your family, it all can play together. So no matter where you come from, whether you're a business background, whether you're an employee somewhere, whether you know you're a startup entrepreneur, a seasoned entrepreneur, right? Whether you're a parent, stay-at-home mom, I don't care. This is great information for everybody. So let's talk about, you know, the three different stealers that I talk about. Is number one, the time stealers, right? Time stealers, they rob you of whatever situation that you're in. If you're spending way too much time doing certain things and you're not paying attention and focusing on the most important things that, you know, are most important for you and the growth of your business, the growth of your relationships, things like that, these things will hold you back because you're not paying attention. And a lot of people don't realize how many time stealers are in their life until somebody says, oh, but what about this? And what about that? And what about this? So today I'm talking about what about this? And what about that? Just for you, so that you can pay attention, that you can see, that you can realize how many time stealers, dream stealers, and energy stealers there might be in your life. And once you become aware of it, then you can start course correcting for yourself. Okay. So these stealers, especially the time stealers, they create worry, right? They create frustration and tiredness, irritability, anger. For some people, it's headaches and neck aches. You know, if you're ever like, oh, just too much stress, right? Forgetfulness is another one that these stealers can create just for you. Lack of concentration and indigestion, right? These are all signs of non-productive levels of stress, right? So we get into these stress modes and all of these things come up. So, and the higher, you know, the more prolonged stress that you have because of the stealers can create illness, you know, serious illness, right? And we don't want that. And so that's one of the reasons I'm sharing about stopping the stealers. Okay. So what robs you of your time? Think about all the things that can rob you of your time, like a messy desk. How about procrastination, a cluttered home, unrealistic time estimates? I mean, I just did a Facebook Live on my personal page just the other day about how much I lied to myself about how much time I had. I had estimated like I had all this time, and the reality was that wasn't the case. You know, it was an overestimation of time. You know, it was unrealistic for me. So how about not setting deadlines for yourself? If you don't set deadlines for yourself, then you can continuously procrastinate, leave it unfinished, you know, not focus on it, not get things done. Poor communication, ineffective delegation is another tool that happens when, you know, it's a nice time stealer when you're when you're not delegating, right? Or you're not doing it accurately, so that really you can give and release versus give and micromanage, right? How about lack of nutrition and unclear goals or expectations, right? Or what are your unclear objectives? An open door policy at work can be a time stealer. You know, I have an open door policy at work, except when I close my door. Okay. When I close my door, and even when I'm on meetings, sometimes I will just put a sign on my door that says in meeting, so don't interrupt me, right? Or sometimes I'm just like, close the door, don't interrupt me. And I'm, you know, real focus on my work. What about long phone calls that get you off track, right? You go to make a phone call to get one answer and then you end up talking for an hour. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it can be stealing the time that you need to get a project done. You might want to schedule it outside of your work hours. I already talked about micromanaging, right? Putting out fires, or you're in crisis management because you waited too long and you didn't make a decision and you kind of thought it would figure it out on its own, but then it didn't. So now you're putting out a fire, creating, you know, having some crisis management. How about texting, emailing, and web surfing, social media surfing, right? It sucks you in sometimes. So those are other ones. And then not saying no, right? Not saying no is another time suck, right? It steals the time away from you because you're saying yes to somebody else and you're not saying no to your time, which creates sometimes those unrealistic time estimations and, long phone calls, things that you didn't want to. How about stress and fatigue? Just stressing about stuff can be a time suck, right? So look, I know the list can be a mile long, right? You could come up with other ones and you're probably thinking, oh, what about this one? Yeah, that one can be, a time stealer. So, those are just some of the ones. So I just want to go over, what are some ways, some things that you can do, take a look at for yourself so that you can stop having time stealers in your life. Think about it. Are you a pilot, right? You pile it here and you pile it there. And then when something else comes in, you got to create another pile over here, right? Stop being a pilot. Take time out, put it in your schedule. I don't care, 15 minutes, a day, 15 minutes a week, whatever that is. Clear off your desk, clear off your space, declutter a little bit. And because looking for phone numbers and looking for a specific paper, looking for, addresses, things that you're filing, you're going through paperwork on your desk and everything else, it's taking up time. And though it might not seem like a lot of time in the moment, you spend 5 minutes, but if you're spending 5 minutes every day, right, and you times that by 365 days, or even if you times it by 200, right, 200 days a year that you're looking for 5 minutes, right, that's a long time. So create a system of filing, right? What it is that you need to put away. Does it need to shred it? If you're going to pile into a shredding pile, pile into a file pile, and then, and then at the end of each week, you go do it. Look, I get so much junk, right? Junk mail, junk stuff. I also have a lot of confidential stuff within my corporate business. And so at the end of the day, I go and do my shredding. I will pile it for the day. And then at the end of the day, I take it to the big shredder, right? So it's okay to pile it as long as you unpile it by the end of the day, end of the week. Okay. So keep your desk tidy, create that rigorous naming system, something that works for you. Look, you don't have to create your filing system the way I create my filing system. Create the filing system that works for you, because if it doesn't work for you, you're not going to do it. So, and don't tell me piling it on your desk is your filing system, because your brain watches that and it goes to it and it sees it. And, I'm just saying, find what works for you. Okay. But understand that piling it takes up time. All right. So, I talked about open door policy. Sometimes, you have to have an open door policy if you want people to communicate with you. And I'm talking about an open door policy with your kids, with your spouse. Don't cut them off just because you're busy, or how about you need to be busy, but they keep cutting you off. So you have to take that under control, right? And make it when you're most productive during the day, for example, like I know me, I'm most productive in the morning. I do these lives first thing in the morning. I couldn't do them in the evening. I couldn't do them in the afternoon. I mean, I could do them, but I wouldn't be my most efficient, because I am most alert and awake and, aware first thing in the morning. That's when I'm most productive. I will do my most productive work first thing in the mornings, right? My husband's just the opposite. His is in the afternoon or late evening. That's when he's most productive, right? Sometimes it can clash, but, most of the time we've figured it out. Come on, we've been together for, almost 35 years. We've been married for 30 years. So come on, right? Is figure out what that open door policy for you works. Okay. Shut the door, get focused, or, ask the kids not to interrupt you, whatever that is. Hey, another one for time, a good time suck is a negative attitude. Okay. It can steal our time from being productive. When we have a negative attitude, we're more focused on that. We can't think about what we really want to accomplish and move forward in life. So watch your attitude. If you're finding that you're having a negative attitude, get up, get moving around, turn on some music and shift your vibe a little bit, right? It's a lot of times a negative attitude can come based on being overloaded with work, so try mapping out things and planning to finish it, right? Dealing with your email, look, there's a lot of things. Turn off the alerts during the day. If you're waiting for an important email, it better be because it's making you money, right? Other than that, turn off the alerts, right? Use filters to automatically put things in different folders. It'll make it really simple. You can just go straight to that folder, right? Give yourself the amount of time necessary to deal with email, deal with it, move away. I check my email like 3 times a day, right? I check it in the morning. I see whatever came in overnight. Then I'll check it about midday. And then I'll check it again at the end of the day, right? So for me, I only check it about 3 times a day. So, if something's urgent, I tell people, then text me, right? I'm more likely to respond to that. But just so you know, I don't respond to texts late at night if they're business related, unless it's important for the business in that moment, right? I just like, okay, I'll deal with that tomorrow, right? So just, keep that in mind. When you're on phone calls, make sure that you are paying attention to how much time you needed for that phone call. And if you decide that you're going to have long phone calls and connect with people, then pencil it in, schedule it accurately. In other words, I'm going to take 30 minutes to make phone calls. That might be 2 phone calls. Maybe you can get 4 phone calls in that 30 minutes, right? But whatever that is just make sure that you know that when you're going to get on the phone, how long are you going to be on that phone? That way you can get back on time. I hear people quite often tell me, I just don't have enough time in my day. Look, if, Beyonce and, Bill Gates, we all have the same amount of time. How is it they can get more done than you and I? Oh, is it because they delegated out to other people because they have other people working for them? Yes, in most cases, but at the same time, you can create a system that works for that works like that. You can get other people to help you bring it in, but just know that we all have the same amount of time. So if I can be successful in this time frame that we have been given in life, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? You too can be successful in the amount of time that we have. You just have to pay attention to what it is that you're focusing on. What are you giving attention to? And then course correct that so that it works best for you, right? Look, these are just some of the time stealers, right? So it's really is, pay attention to what it is. Our meetings, do you have sit down meetings with people? Are those meetings way too long? Can you have stand up meetings instead that are pretty quick? And nobody wants to stand there for 30 minutes. Okay. They want to do like a 10-minute stand up meeting max, right? So think about it. Now, think about what you make per year. What is your annual salary? What is what are you paying yourself? And maybe you're not paying yourself, and that could be a problem, right? But, calculate the cost of spending an hour in a meeting, or, spending your time and, an hour finding things on your desk. And if you calculate it out, look, if I'm a $300 an hour person and I'm spending an hour finding stuff, that means I'm $300 to help me find stuff in a week, right? That's a waste of time. So think about it like that, right? Look at it from a critical perspective of time is money, right? And are you spending your money wisely with your time? It's just one way to look at it. Okay, so let's move on to the dream stealers. What are the dream stealers, right? They may be, the dream stealers might be, well, most often they're family members, right? They're your neighbors. The dream stealers like come in all disguises, right? They're your family members, your neighbors, your friends, your office colleagues, people that you network and mastermind with, and I want to say that they have the best intentions and your welfare in their minds, right? They want the right thing for you and the best thing for you. The problem comes when they just don't understand that they're not being helpful. Okay. Dream stealers may, intimidate, and try to intimidate you or try to bully you out of love. I'm doing what's the best thing for you. I just want to make sure you're okay, right? Have you ever heard statements like, honey, I tried to tell you this wouldn't work. Okay, so something didn't work in life and we tried it. We know that doesn't work. We move over, we move forward, right? Or maybe somebody said, why did you get involved in this anyway? Like, why did you think you were going to be successful at that? Right? Oh, honey, when are you going to get a real job? How many entrepreneurs have heard that one? Right? Well, when are you going to get a real job? Right? Or, how's your little hobby going? How's your hobby business doing? Look, they don't mean it to be mean. They're just telling you this doesn't feel right to them. Okay. And the odds are, like I said, it's a sibling, it's a parent, it's a spouse, it's somebody who's close to you, right? And you look, I love my family to death, but they're not always the most supportive of everything that I do, right? Pardon me. And sometimes it's warranted. I have made mistakes. I have fallen on my face, and man, I look good doing it. Okay, no, I don't, but but I get up, right? And I brush myself off, brush my teeth, comb my hair, splash some water on my face, and I just keep moving forward, right? So I am like the queen of resiliency. Okay. I can't tell you, like, boom, I have knocked it down. People have not tried to knock me down. Like, it's okay. But there are people who want to be the dream stealers, right? So don't think that the dream stealers are out to steal your dreams. They're not. Dream stealers are there to, you know, they really have your best interest at heart. They really do want to do it, but they're living in conformity, right? They don't understand your mind. They don't understand what's been put on your heart and in your soul for you to do, right? Or maybe somebody squashed their dreams. And so they just know that, look, it's worked out for me. It could work out for you, right? All these different things, right? Look, think about like Sam Walton, right? Founder of Walmart, right? He was told so many times that he couldn't do his business, right? And vendors did not want to give him the things to put in his store at the cost that he wanted because he wanted a lower income. Now, I'm not a big proponent of Walmart myself, but I am, curious to see how other people created success in their business. And Sam Walton was extremely successful, right? So look, it all started with a dream in one man's head that turned into a passion, then ended up turning into a billion-dollar corporation. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm still working towards my billion-dollar corporation. I don't know that I want it or ever have been there, but I'm not going to let, pardon me, I'm not going to let somebody else tell me that I couldn't do it. Look, in order to achieve your dreams, you're going to suffer some failures. Pardon me. And you're going to have some losses getting there, right? You're going to lose money. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose clients. You're going to lose your own self-respect for a moment, right? And then you got to get it back. Like all of these things, right? That's part of the journey of success. All right. It's not measured by how many times you get knocked down. It's measured by how many times you get back up. Okay. There's an old, Chinese proverb, knock down 7 times, get up 8, right? Every time you get knocked down, you get back up, right? Like I said, I could be known as the queen of resiliency because I just get back up. I just get back up, right? And sometimes it takes me a minute longer, right? But that's what it is, right? Stay away from dream stealers to the best that you can. Just kind of like, whatever, that's your thought. No, my hobby's going great. I'm creating a profit, right? Never allow somebody who's making $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year tell you why you can't make $100,000 a year. Okay. They haven't reached it. Right? Love them for wanting to protect you, but don't allow them to steal your thunder. Don't allow them to step into your dreams, right? Find achievers, find dreamers, find people to spend time with that'll lift you up, not put you down. Seek out those achievers, go network with those people, right? Find people that are willing to coach you, that have made the money, that have made the income, that have made the success that you want to make. Read books that will increase your knowledge and empower you. Life goes on with or without you, right? So no matter what happens, no matter how many bad things appear, the sun's still going to come up the next day. And, the universe is here to serve you when you're ready to do it. So just know that it doesn't have to be the way that you think that it is or how somebody else sees it, right? Achievers will tell you that their achievements are not what matter. It's the journey, it's the trip, it's the thing that happened along the way, right? That creates that fulfilling work. So think about you. You're going to go through the journey. And a lot of people get caught up in, a bad, turn in the journey, right? but you learn so much in that. So don't let people steal your dreams. All right. Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe can be achieved. So whatever is in your mind, your heart, your soul, that that you're meant to do, whatever that is, don't let somebody steal it out. Don't give it away. Take ownership of it, right? Never let anybody steal your dreams away from you. All right. I almost did at one point, and I'm so grateful that I, just kept going and moving forward. All right. And the last stealer I'm going to talk about is the energy stealer. The energy stealer is something or someone that's going to take your energy away, right? Some people can be very draining, right? Have you ever been around somebody that just like sucks the life out of you? I know I have, right? They come in all different shapes and sizes. They have good intentions. They can be found anywhere. It could be you. You might be your own energy stealer. So be careful on that one, right? But energy stealers, they want to take from you. They'll come over and over again and expecting you to help them with their stuff, right? They're not always fun to be around. So you have to pay attention to who's sucking the energy from you, right? Look, and here's the thing. A lot of times energy stealers don't even know that they're sucking the energy right out of you. All right. They tend to pull you down in them or their unhappiness, and they tend to pull you down in their unhappiness. All right. They also might want to make you feel sorry for them. They want you to get caught up in their life and their drama and all of that. So I just want you to know that it's okay to move energy stealers out of your inner circle, right? You can still love on them and everything else. And when you have the energy and you're full, then you can spend the time with them. Like there's people God bless them. I have friends that I love to death. They are dear friends, but I know every time I'm with them, they suck every piece of energy out of me. So I plan my time with them. I still have relationships with them. I still connect with them, but I plan it out. Hey, let's go have lunch when I know that I'm full, right? And they can just vent and tell me all about life. And I can just sit there and listen and be a loving source for them. I'm not saying to get rid of them out of your life. There's some really amazing people, family members, things like that, that might just be those energy sucks, right? And it's okay, but make sure that you're in control of what that timeline looks like for you. Does that make sense? So, people are not only energy stealers, sometimes they're CNN, right? They're constant negative news, right? But it's like TV, surfing the internet, video games, doing emails. Those can be huge energy stealers, right? Because we're looking at all this stuff that we don't need to be looking at. We're being pulled into politics and, whatever the flavor of the month is that we need to talk about, that people are like, oh my gosh. And then, we're digging and getting sucked into it. We go onto social media. We just want to check one thing. We want to make sure that our post is set there. And then we spend another hour, right? And then by the time we're done, we're like, oh my gosh, that was horrible. I read all that stuff and look at all those people that are upset. Look, I get it. There was a time, I'll tell you, occasionally, I just take a social media break, okay? Because it just sucks the energy out of me. They're all fine in moderation, okay, in regards to business. But when you find yourself surfing the net or the TV for hours, then it's something you might want to take a look at, right? You're better off doing follow-up calls. You're better off decluttering your desk, right? Because those are other energy drains and other time stealers, right? So shift your energy. So let's talk about some solutions for energy, because energy is harder than just saying, this is what you do. And then, your energy is back, right? I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't realize it and they don't believe me when I say it, but I truly am an introvert. And what I mean by that is that when I'm out in public and around people, it just sucks my energy dry, right? My husband is on the opposite end, right? He is a full-on extrovert. He goes out, I suck him dry when I just want to read my book and just relax, right? He's like, oh, this is boring. I got to go do something, right? He's got to go around, and be in a lively space. He wants to go network. He wants to go, on adventures and do all these amazing things, because for him, that ups his energy. To me, it just depletes my energy. And we had to learn that in our marriage, right? Because there was a time in our marriage when we're like, hey, you don't want to do this with me. Well, hey, I just need a break. And we finally figured out really what it was. So if you're an introvert, stop, take time, recharge, and then get back out there, because people will tell me, Kimberly, you're not an introvert, you're an extrovert. I never would have agreed that you were an extrovert or an introvert. And that's because I know how to manage my introvertness in such a way that I can still be a social butterfly. I can still get out in public and speak. I can still be around crowds of people. But when I'm done, I'm done. And this girl goes and hides. So let's talk about some other things. Know who you are if you're for your energy. If you're an introvert, you need to have time to recharge. So make sure that you do. If you're an extrovert, you need time to recharge. So make sure you're getting out. If you're a solopreneur sitting at home doing your business and you never get out and networking, to people, what you're doing is you're spending time surfing the net, hoping that will take care of that energy, when in reality it doesn't. So go find people to connect with. All right. Some other ways to boost your energy is contrast showers. You know what a contrast shower is? Maybe you've never heard of this. It's getting in the shower and alternating hot water with cold water. So as hot as you can handle, get under that, energize, and then cool it, make it cold. And what that does is your body will, give you this jolt of energy because it's trying to figure out what's going on. So you can have contrast showers. How about vitamins and minerals, right? Having the right multivitamins, having the right minerals and things to help boost your immune system. All of those can help with your energy. Healthy meals, getting a good balance of good foods for your body. If you're eating sugar, if you're, partaking in, high fat stuff it makes you more sluggish, right? Or creates carbs, they create that drop off time, right? Then you're not eating healthy for your body to create that energy. The other one is exercise. Get up, right? Get up out of the chair, go for a walk around your office, around your house. I'm not saying go around your house and clean things up. I'm saying go out and deliberately get a walk in, whether it's a 5-10 minute walk, and then get back into what you need to do, because that's an energy boost. Stretching, sometimes just sitting at your desk and stretching up and stretching out and stretching your legs, all of those things can be a great energy uplift. And then maybe it's a supercharged nap, right? Do a 20-minute power nap, quick, recharge your body, get back in, set an alarm, give yourself that time, get back on. And then the last one I say on for this one is motivating music. Get in some music, get the energy flowing. I don't care if you're dancing at your desk, right? Whatever that is, get some energy moving. Things that you want to avoid that's going to deplete your energy: processed foods, large amounts of caffeine. For some people I know, I hear it all the time. Oh, but Kimberly, caffeine makes me sleep. Or Kimberly, I don't get a big boost from caffeine. I don't care. If you have large amounts, your body's going to be affected, right? Large amounts of sugar, energy drinks, right? Though they might be filled with vitamins and minerals, because people tell me, but mine has all these vitamins and minerals. Yeah, that's great. But sometimes they also create a crash. And then they become less and less effective because your body gets used to them. That's another problem. If you're doing it all the time, your body's getting used to it. So keep your energy drinks as a last resort to be used, right? The best way to achieve a high energy lifestyle is by monitoring your diet, exercise, who do you associate with, who, to keep your energy levels up. And then, finding ways to, really support your overall mental, physical health, so that you can figure out what are those things that are draining you and what are those things. This was your stopping the stealers, the time stealers, the dream stealers, and the energy stealers. And so I hope there's a little nugget in there for you today that can help you move forward and stop the stealers in your life. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them down below, right? I would be more than happy to respond to you. And, let me know if something you're like, oh, I'm going to try that one, Kimberly. That would be really awesome. So thanks for joining me here today at the Hive Society. And I look forward to seeing you again next week.